Welcome to another session of percentages. Let us look at a few examples of how to tackle different kinds of questions from percentages. Let us look at the first example. Why don't you take a couple of minutes to read the question? Okay, it's a long question. I'm sure you will be better reading it yourself and understanding it, while I also do the same. In fact, this kind of questions are very, very common. In fact, when I say this kind, I mean the format, the structure. You'll find many a times questions are extremely lengthy, huge amount of data, actually are giving you irrelevant data. You need to focus on what is the key requirement of the question, what is it that it is asking you to find out, and focus on that, and not get lost with the amount of data which is being thrown at you. Why is it being thrown at you? Because most probably this is an easy question and they want to confuse you by giving you data so that you are not able to focus on what is the requirement. Okay, let's just have a quick look. I'm assuming you have already gone through the question and given up, that you don't know what to do with it. Okay. For constructing a working class consumer price index number for a particular town, the following weights corresponding to different groups of items were assigned. So food was given 55% weightage, fuel 15, clothing 10, rent 8, miscellaneous 12. It is known that rise in food prices double that of fuel. So food prices are double, increase in food is double that of fuel rate. And rise in miscellaneous is double that of rent. So the items which are under miscellaneous, the prices have increased by twice as much as rent has increased. Similarly, food prices have increased by a quantity which is twice the increase in fuel. Okay. So if I have to just put it here, food, fuel, then we have rent and miscellaneous, and there was a clothing in the middle. Okay, so he's saying that food prices, if the fuel price has increased by X, food price has increased by 2X. Similarly, if the rent has increased by Y, miscellaneous has increased by 2Y. There is the data which is given to us till now. In October 2006, the increased GA by the factory of the town increased by 182%, fully compensate for the rise in prices of food and rent, but did not compensate for anything else. Another factory of the same locality increased GA by 46.5%, which compensate the rise in fuel and miscellaneous groups. I am sure you have not understood whatever it is saying here. Okay, don't worry. Let's focus on what the question asks us to do. Which is the correct combination of rise in price of food, fuel, rent, and miscellaneous? Is this relevant? This is not at all relevant. This was given to you to confuse you. To make sure you get lost with this data, you start using data which is irrelevant and lose time and are not able to get the correct answer. The data which is given to us is that the increase in food is twice the increase in fuel. Similarly, increase in miscellaneous is twice the increase in rent. Let us check that out. Which combination is the increase in price of food, fuel, rent, and miscellaneous the correct combination? All I would look for is in which of these four combinations is the first number double of the second. Why? Because first number corresponds to food, second number corresponds to fuel, and food increase has to be double that of fuel increase. Similarly, in which combination the last number double of the third number? Because last number corresponds to miscellaneous while the third number corresponds to rent. Obviously, choice A is incorrect. Why? Because 95.64 into 2 is almost 190. This is 166. So this does not correspond to the data given. This is an incorrect. Choice C, again 90.64, 190.28. 19.64 should have meant 180, 181.28. This is incorrect again because this is not double of this. What about choice C? 94.64 and 189.28. Okay. This is rent. So 94 into 2 is 90, 90, 80, 188. 188.64. Yeah, 190. This is tallying. This is tallying. This is double of 94.64. Let us check for the other item also. This one. 158.57 into 317.8 and 317.14. If I double 158, 158 into 2 is 300 plus 16, so 316 plus 57.57 into 2. 57 into 2 is 114, so 1.14. This is tally. So most probably this is the answer, but let's check out the last one also. 84.46 is not half of 175, so even this is wrong. So if you look at this question carefully, there is a huge amount of data which is given only to confuse you. Be careful, there is a very, very commonly adopted technique by not only CAT but also Xavier's aptitude test, that and IFT. Give a huge amount of data, confuse and relax. So you need to identify what is the relevant item and focus on that rather than get lost with the huge amount of data which is there.